I am joined by college football national champion, Heisman Trophy winner, and presumed #1 overall pick, Fernando Mendoza, coming to us from his house in Miami. Thank you for joining us, Fernando.
I appreciate you guys for having me. Everybody at CNBC, thank you again.
Let's start with the draft process, because it strikes me that you have had probably an unusual draft process where you've got your teammates at Indiana and other peers of yours going from draft meeting to draft meeting, showing up at Top Golf to meet with the Commanders. Correct me if I'm wrong, you have only had one pre-draft meeting, correct, with the Raiders? Is that right?
At the Combine, I had 4. I had one with the Raiders, the Browns, the Jets, and the Cardinals. However, I've only attended one top 30 visit. There's nothing out of the realm of possibility, but I'd be very blessed and grateful for whatever team, and I've really enjoyed my meetings and in-person meetings with the Raiders.
Does a little bit of you, though, feel like I'm missing out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to meet with all these teams?
I think I've had a great opportunity, whether it's attending the Combine, attending a top 30 visit, or being quizzed by the Raiders or different teams on Zoom. I feel like I've really been able to take a part of this. I've just been blessed that our team has played all the way to the January 19th, which was a national championship. So some of our guys didn't test the Combine like me, but just really grateful for the process. And the process is just to get picked by a team, and you only need one team to believe in you. So I'm looking forward to whoever that team is.
Well, I've got to ask you directly, have the Raiders informed you that you're their guy?
No, the Raiders have not informed me. However, whatever team informs me, I'm ecstatic for it.
All right, well, let's say it's the Raiders. I know you, like you said, that's the one team you've had a post-Combine meeting with. I was listening in preparation to speak to you to some of your interviews that you've done in the past, and there was one that you did during the season where the person who was talking with you asked you if there was one person that you would like to have dinner with, who would that be? And you answered Tom Brady. And now you are likely going to have the chance to play for the team that Tom Brady is a minority owner for. I know you've at least spoken to him once. I'm curious, what did he say to you? And is this a little bit surreal that you may end up in this opportunity?
I met and I talked to Tom at the top 30 visit I had in Las Vegas. It was a great experience. I talked to him a little bit, looking forward to growing our relationship and to have that football intelligence and the way that he sees a game, not only from a physical, but also from a mental and emotional standpoint. I'm excited to dive in, take everything I can to learn from him, all the other great coaches and all the other great teammates, if it is the Raiders.
Did you, in fact, tell Tom that, basically he was the guy that you looked up to?
Tom was a very well-studied man, but evidently not as well-studied as you. I'm sure he does not seen the interview where I said that. However, I've told him that I was actually born in Boston, while my dad was doing medical residency up there. So I've been a Patriots fan, or I was a Patriots fan, throughout, my childhood, even college years. And he's been someone that I've been able to look up to, like I mentioned before, not just on the physical, but also the mental and emotional standpoint, the way that he connects with his teammates, the way that he stays motivated, and all the other internal and external factors that he displays.
Another thing that I know about you is that you take sports psychology very seriously.
Yeah.
And it strikes me that your career up until this point mirrors that of Tom Brady's. You were not a highly touted high school recruit. You were you originally committed to Yale and then changed your mind when you got the opportunity to compete at Cal, which is obviously a bigger football program. You worked your way up there, became the starting quarterback, went to Indiana, not a proven football school, worked your way up there. But now your career is going to differ from Mr. Brady's in that you're not going to be a 6th-round pick. Whatever team picks you is going to have kind of the full weight of their expectation on you. Do you need to change your approach? Because maybe you can't rely on that little guy chip on my shoulder that Tom Brady was always able to rely on.
Well, I think the beautiful part of life is everybody has their own identity and their own journey. Although Tom Brady is hopefully going to be a great mentor, if I get picked by the Raiders, no one's journey is exactly the same. And that chip on the shoulder mentality does not waver, whether you're the first pick or you're the last pick in the draft, in my mindset. Because I'm not looking at this that I'm ranked first out of the draft, because the draft is a gateway to the league. So I see myself at the bottom of the totem pole with all the NFL quarterbacks on whatever team I go to. So at that point, I need to climb up the totem pole to best serve my teammates and give my team the best chance to win, and for me to be the pick that lives up to what the team wants. The team picks are putting a lot of effort, a lot of resources, and a lot of trust in you. So I look forward to taking that mentorship from Tom Brady, but I'll always have that chip on my shoulder, no matter whether it's the first pick, the last pick, 199th pick, whatever it is, that mindset will never change. And the sports psychology aspect, to get into that, it's not that I had the yips or whatever. I want to be great in every single margin that I can improve on, whether it's physically, emotionally, or mentally, in this space, mental performance, whether it's working on visualization, working on breathing habits, or working on sleep. All those things I'm going to try to maximize.
There are two ways of going about entering the league as a top pick. You can either play right away, which has been more and more the case, or you can wait a year and learn from a veteran. The Raiders just signed Kirk Cousins. Which would you prefer?
Well, luckily, I'm going in the league as a player. I'm not a coach, so whatever the coach wants, he can get. I'm going to compete my butt off every single day, prove to my teammates. I believe that leadership is earned, not given, and it would be a huge distinction and honor to sometime get that leadership. Not saying it'll happen, because there's still a long way for me to grow and a lot of things that I need to improve on. But whatever the coach decides and whatever will best help the team, I am all in for.
Let's talk business a little bit.
Great.
As I mentioned, you got into Yale. You then decided to go to Cal. You got a degree in business administration, 3 years. I believe your mom has an MBA. First of all, I'm curious, did you grow up watching CNBC? Was CNBC on in the household at all?
My family has a business acumen. My mom went to and did her MBA here at the University of Miami, a mile away. I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to graduate the Haas School of Business undergraduate program in 3 years in Berkeley, and then start the MBA at the Kelley School of Business at Indiana. Our family has a couple of pillars, and education is one of those. We believe that if you're educated at the highest degree, you can walk into any room, be successful, and be informed. It's very important to be informed so you can best attack any opportunity at hand. And luckily, I've not only had a great education, I've had great business mentors, whether it's my father, my grandparents, mentors I met at Haas or at Kelley throughout my career. I'm sure CNBC was on the TV a couple of times, just as many other news channels were.
I'm curious, was the initial plan with Yale that you figured the NFL may not be in your future, or in the back of your mind were you like, yeah, I could go to Yale, get a good education, and look, Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard and he played, like maybe I could still have an NFL career and do that, or were you more thinking like, I'm going to go in a different direction in my life if you had gone that path?
The direction for my life was always trying to play professional football. For me, there's a lot of other time in life that you could do whatever business ventures you want. And the recruiting model and pitch was the Ryan Fitzpatrick, and that was my only offer. I'm really grateful for Yale. It's a great fun fact that I got into Yale, although I probably shouldn't have. Yale was a great opportunity. However, I'm a man of God, and I trust in God's plan. I prayed. I can't thank him enough. At the 12th hour, he gave me an offer to the University of California, Berkeley, which I accepted on scholarship, which was a great blessing. But whether it was Yale, Cal, Indiana, whether it was Christopher Columbus High School, I was going to try to make the most of my opportunities, trust God, and trust my circle of trust around me.
It used to be that players entering the NFL needed to wait around for that first big contract to have a little bit of money to invest. But now with NIL, you have already been able to make different partnerships with brands. In fact, you have a partnership to talk about today with Boss, where you actually have a little bit of money. So I sort of have two questions on this front, which is, one, as you are doing these partnerships, how are you thinking about building the Fernando Mendoza brand? That's certainly Tom Brady has a brand, Peyton Manning has a brand, Pat Mahomes has a brand, Brock Purdy has a brand. Like, these quarterbacks have defined brands. I'm curious how you're thinking about the Mendoza brand? I'll stop there, and then I'll ask the follow-up after. I'll give you a chance to answer that one.
Although the rise of the spotlight has been fairly quick, I've always tried to keep my brand standpoint at the forefront. And I believe that Boss is a great partner because I'm also sponsored by Adidas. So I wear a lot of Adidas clothes while I'm working out. But whenever I needed to go and show that business acumen, it's always great to have suits. And with that, that was a real appeal, is I can wear a suit to the Heisman ceremony. I can wear a suit to the NFL draft, even if it's at home. I can wear a suit to the press conferences. I can show that at the highest level, not only can I perform on the field, I can perform off the field in any situation, whether it's a meeting, whether it's a presentation, or whether it's getting to meet some new great people. And I believe that Boss represents that because the way that they have this style, it's classy, it's elegant. I believe it represents my brand and the brand I'm hoping to build in the future.
You're not going to the draft. You're going to be at home, but you'll be wearing a Boss suit.
I'll be wearing a Boss suit. Although I am not going to be at the draft, I want to do my best to be a league partner and do everything possible to try to help the NFL. I stayed at home because it's a family decision. We had a lot of travel this year. My mother wanted to stay home. We always joke about it, that it's her party, not really mine. And I thought it would be the best position to have everybody there, the village that's poured into me to get to this point of success, to have them there. However, being a class act is at the forefront of my mind whenever I step into these off the field situations. So I think no better way than to partner with Boss, have a suit and tie on, and look my best in front of national television with all my family.
And so here's my second question, which is, now that you have some of this money, how have you approached the investing part of this? Is that sort of a passion of yours? Have you started to think about doing more sophisticated investments now that you have money to play with to some degree?
So with all the money that I earned, whether it's NIL or football, if there is ever, my mother struggles with MS, multiple sclerosis, if there's ever a cure, if it takes every single penny in that bank account or contract, it is all getting deployed there. So at any time, I'm ready to deploy that because we think that health is number one. And my mom has fought so hard. So if that ever comes out, boom. I know that CNBC love talking about investing, but the best investing I believe you can do is in yourself. It gives unlimited returns, and I would do that for my mom. However, on the other forefront, I've had a lot of experience with NIL, whether it's investing myself, talking to advisors. And with that, my big thing is I want to try to save, but then also invest in myself. And I want to keep the main thing the main thing. If I'm trying to beat the S&P every single day, I'm not going to be able to focus on being the best football player and quarterback I can possibly be to best serve my teammates. So it would be to save, a large part of it, live frugally, but then also give back to the community, give back to your teammates, give back to your family, while letting someone else handle that, who is smart and also probably graduated from the Haas School of Business or from Kelly, so that I could be my best self on the football field.
Fernando, congratulations on all your accomplishments, and one more to come, likely later today. So appreciate the time, and good luck in the NFL.
Thank you so much. Although it's accomplishment later today, it's a start of the journey. I'm ready to get the race started and very blessed by God. Thank you so much for having me again.